If you are listening to this episode live on launch day, you know that June is a few days away. And you know what I love about June? It's like the new year for me. If you are a teacher or ever have been a teacher, there is something that happens in May where life is just kind of crazy. It's kind of uncontrollable. And then you get a view of June, and it's just like, this breath of fresh air. And I am here to tell you today that there is a way for you to hit the reset button on whatever is not serving you right now and step into summer with fresh perspective. That is exactly what we're going to be doing today on episode 45 of the What If It Works podcast. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And let's get into this summer reset, focusing on your goals, focusing on what you need more of in your life, focusing on success or happiness or joy or gratitude, whatever that is for you. We're setting new intentions today, and then we are going to get specific on how to accomplish that goal in the next 3 months. Here we go. Summer is here. I mean, for the most part, right? June, July, and August, they are coming up this week, and I could not be more excited. As an educator, I went right from elementary school, middle school, high school, straight into college, straight into teaching. And so my years have always consisted of the September to May timeframe with summer in between. And now I want to tell you that there is a way for you to go into summer feeling excited and prepared and joyful and happy and successful all at the same time. How do we do that? There is a phrase, I believe it's Brendon Burchard who makes the comment that, let me see your calendar and I'll tell you how successful you are. Well, I am here to tell you today that if you care about success, then I want to hear that phrase out of your mouth. If you don't care about success, but you want to experience happiness, you want to experience joy, you want to experience a slow down and almost like a summer to remember, then there is a way for you to do that. And it starts with you making a plan. I absolutely love this last week of May going into the first week of summer because I sit down and I think about what's going well, what needs to change, what do I want, and then I sit down and plan that in. Now, some of you are forward thinkers and you have already planned your summer vacations. And to that, I aspire to be you. However, the way my life has seemed to function lately is spring is extremely busy, and I kind of wait until I am done being busy to get ready for the next season, which, yes, may feel like I'm a little bit behind, but in all reality, I love this. I love going into June, which is jam packed with soccer games and soccer things, but setting an intention for the summer of what I want. And so I wanted to talk to you today about some things I'm setting up for myself to get your gears going to think about what you want to create for this summer, whether that be on your own, in your business, at work, with your spouse, with your kids, with your friends, whatever that is for you. Let's make a plan and let's make this a summer to remember because you were intentional, because you knew what you wanted and you went after it in these months in the summer of 24. In making this episode, I kind of laughed at myself because I started putting my summer through the impact method. So let's do that together. In the impact method, we start with investigate. What do you want for this summer? I seriously want you to simmer on that for just a second. Do you want this to be a fun, packed summer? Do you want this to be the summer where you sat outside and read books? Is this the summer where you traveled to locations you've never been before and are more adventurous and more willing to explore new things? Is this the summer where you guard your time, that you go all in on that business adventure or go all in on making money with your hobby? Is this the summer that you decide, man, I am going all in on my family and my kids because they are 11 and 9, and I don't know how much longer they're going to want to hang out with me, right? What type of summer do you want to create for yourself? And really investigate what you want. So, when I really start investigating anything, number one, I go all in on what's going well. What do I want to make sure I continue in the summer months? And for me, that really is guarding my time, really making sure that when I say I'm going to do something, I sit down and I do it. And when I say I don't need to rush, I don't need to sit in front of my computer for 6 hours today, I don't. And so, really guarding my time and being intentional when I want to do work and being intentional about when I want to connect with my family or being intentional about when I want to relax. And so far, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I get mad at myself for not being overly productive. And then on the flip side, I like cheer myself on for not being overly productive. So I feel like that's going really well in my life right now. I've been able to kind of put gigs in an orderly fashion and really look in advance on, getting stuff out for them and getting stuff organized, then going and performing those gigs and kind of keeping that cycle going in a really free flowing way. So that's been going really well for me right now. And I want that to keep going this summer. What I love about my work for the most part is a lot of my clients want to do presentations and events in the fall and in the spring. And so that gives me a lot of freedom and flexibility in the summer to really enjoy what summer has to offer, which is a little bit different of a schedule for our home life, but also some freedom to do some really cool things with the kids on a random Tuesday. And so I'm really excited for that. What is not going well? What needs to change? There are some things that I am just not keeping up with consistently. And with business specifically, I really, really, really want to have a social media presence. And there have been times in my life where I have consistently had a social media presence. And I would argue the last year has not been one of those times. And so that's really something I want to go all in on. Maybe that's setting up a Monday morning situation where I plan out my social media for the week and then I can be engaged with people on social media during the week instead of taking so much time to create content during the week. And so that's a new system that I want to find and put into place is how can I make that part of my business really work for me and work for my schedule in these summer months. It's different when I'm dropping off my kids every single morning and I can come back to my computer and I can just get to work right away at 8:15. That's obviously very different in the summer. And so really thinking through some of my systems. So I want to mention that to you. What are some systems that you need to put into place to create that thing that you said you wanted this summer? So if you said you wanted more joy in your summer, what are some systems you need to put into place? Do you find joy in going for a walk in the morning? I absolutely love morning walks. That's literally number one on my list is wake up and go for a walk. I used to do this every single day when we had our old dog, and now we have a new dog, and she does not walk the same. She is on a mission. And I just want to enjoy my morning walks and I don't want to be pulled in different directions. I also don't want to think about who else is out there on my walk with me, in which our dog right now points out every new human, stops walking, literally sits and stares at them while they walk 3 or 4 blocks away from us. She will not budge. She will not move. It is a pain. And so I've had a really hard time wanting to get up and go for walks in the morning. But man, walks in the morning in the summer. You want to talk about needing an energy boost when your schedule is a little wonky, because summer can kind of do that to you. Get up and get outside. It is life changing. So that is something I definitely want to add as a system to my summer, is getting up and going for that walk. I also want you to be thinking about in those what needs to change, right? So one of my goals is to be consistent on social media and then get up and go for a walk in the summer. I also had a friend reach out to me. She is my former life coach. She said, "Hey, I'm going to do a really fun challenge for the next 3 months that is focused on just staying in it over the summer." And so I absolutely love this idea of what are a few things you really want to accomplish every single day? Or what are some things you know that just keep you in the right headspace at work or at home that you could do every single day? So some of the things that she is doing in this challenge is drinking a certain amount of water, doing a workout, reading a book, or listening to a podcast. Like if you are looking for just a small shift in your mindset. And I'm going to rephrase this. I just said just a small shift. I'm going to rephrase that on, if you want to make a fast shift in your mindset, start listening to incredible podcasts and start reading books daily, like personal development books. It is amazing how you can get out of your head and seriously into new knowledge that you can take action on immediately just by doing those two things. If you are looking for a dynamite podcast to get you just inspired, I really get inspired by Ed Milet. He is one of my favorites. Ed Milet has some dynamite interviews that he does. He just has this like no nonsense leadership that I love. Like, tell me what I need, get me excited, pump me up, but also don't fill me up with a bunch of BS. So if that's what you're looking for, Ed Milet is my favorite way to just get inspired. Literally within minutes of listening to his podcast, there is usually something that I'm taking out of there and I am running with in my mind instantly. And so I would definitely recommend that. So what systems do you need to put into place? What is something you could do every single day to just get you closer to what you said in that investigate phrase? And so for me, it is really creating joy this summer. Like that's what I want. In the past, right, in 2020 and 2021, I was homeschooling my kids and summer was my time. And because it was my time, I tried to like fill it with things I needed. And because I didn't have them yet, and it was definitely out of need, I was not finding joy in what I was doing in those summer months. And then in the last year, and it was like, okay, my kids are old enough to do things on their own. So I'm going to work. And I'm going to, try to make something happen in the time frame that I had. And that just like was not serving me at all. And it felt really rushed, but yet I didn't really feel like I got much accomplished because it was so unfocused. It was like unfocused stress. And so this year, this summer, I want to create more joy. I want to schedule out my work and then schedule out time with my kids, time to read a book on the deck, time to garden, time to catch up with friends, time to head up to the zoo with the kiddos, right? Whatever I want to find joy in that. And I want to find peace in that instead of having every little bit scheduled, or again, having unfocused work time that then leads to frustration and stress. And so that is what I am trying to create this summer. I hope that inspires you a little bit to think about, what is it that you want? And maybe this is the summer for you to just grind out your work. Maybe you've been tiptoeing with a new idea and you're like, I don't want to have joy. I want to have progress. Like that's great for you too. And so what is it that you want? That's that investigate. And now we go get it. So in the impact method, right? We model what we want. I want you to get out a calendar. I want you to literally schedule out your time. Are you scheduling out daily activities? Are you scheduling out my goal is once a week we do something new that me and the kids have never done before. And so maybe that's head up to the zoo with one of their friends each. Maybe that's going to the Mall of America, whatever it is, but it's something new. It's something different. Maybe it's a new state park. Maybe it's heading to a new water park. I know there's a couple around us that we've never been to. And so just once a week, we're going to schedule in something different and fun and joyful. And so get out that calendar, schedule in what you want for this summer. If you want to go explore more, then when are you going to explore? Because if you're like me and you wait until Friday night to go explore somewhere on Saturday, let me tell you, it's going to be really difficult to find a place to stay. And so plan it out now. Take a look at that calendar. Another thing that I really have a hard time doing is connecting with other families to create a plan together. I don't know why this is so hard for me. Could it be that I do wait till the last minute and then I'm like, hey, family of 5, want to hang out and go to the zoo this Thursday on a Tuesday, right? Maybe that's why. And so really getting clear with the kids. Hey, when do we want to go to the zoo? Who do we want to go with? Now let's go ask them. We've been talking about getting together with different families within our families to hang out with and do separate things with them. And so we got to get it on the calendar. So that's going to be really big for us, is just scheduling our time and making it a point to step into this idea that we follow through on what we say we're going to do. And so get out your calendar and schedule it. What needs to be on that calendar? Is it more time with family? Is it more time with friends? Have you been just kind of going all in on your family, which is incredible, but you're really feeling like you're missing out on friendships? What do you need to schedule in so that you see the people that fill you up, or that you get what you need out of that? Another thing that happened is, as you know, if you listen to the podcast, I interviewed Bree Tarlson, who started a new bookstore here in town. Actually, she started a new third space called Alm Sweet Alm. If you are in Minnesota, you need to swing down to New Ulm this summer. You just need to put it on your calendar to come down for a whole day. We have so many new businesses downtown, one of them being this third space called Alm Sweet Alm. Inside of that is Luca Books. And what's incredible about this space is that they want you to go into this space and just be. They want you to connect with others while you're there. They want you to sit and read a book in their nook area, right? And so really scheduling time for me to say, hey, it's a rainy day. Let's head down to the bookstore. They've got a Dynamite, little deli case options. They've got coffee in there. They've got seating, and they've got books. What more do you need, right? But really using that time instead of saying, oh, I'm going to read a book here at home, but then I find myself doing other things. Cleaning, walking around, picking up, sitting in my office, not being productive. And so utilizing my time, going down there on a rainy day for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just enjoy that third space, making connections while I'm there, but also filling up my cup at the exact same time. Some of you might be thinking to yourself, and this is great for you. You have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old who are pretty fully functional. They also have friends in the neighborhood, and they are constantly out of this house doing things with other people their own age that they love and enjoy, which is great, right? So you might be saying, I have small kids. I am going to be home nonstop with these kids who are usually in school, and summer feels different, right? So let's talk about some things you can do as a parent to really help you create what you say you wanted in that investigate section, right? So if you said you wanted more peace, you wanted to do less running and more enjoying your time at home, what expectations are you setting up with your kids or with yourself or with your spouse so that you can have what you say you want? One of my biggest pieces of advice for all parents is literally have a meeting with your family before summer even starts. We have been doing this almost every night at dinner for the last 2 weeks. Hey, this summer, we really need to think about when are we going to be reading? Landon's been really big into the Xbox lately and sometimes a little too long because mom isn't paying attention. And so, what are our limits on technology for the summer? What are we doing about reading? We need to get Landon caught up just a little bit more to hit his like third grade level. And so, what are we doing about that? When are we reading? How often are we reading? And like really creating a system around that for him. Also, what chores are we going to be doing on a daily basis and on a weekly basis? I just got done talking to my kids about, like, hey, you know what? There needs to be a chore that gets done before you guys run out and go hang out with your friends. Like last year, I'm not even making this up. There were times that the doorbell rang before 7:30 a.m. and then they were out the door, which was great. I love that they have friends in the neighborhood and I love that they are outside playing. Love, love, love that. Don't love chasing them down later in the day to get them to come home to eat lunch, chasing them down to get them to come to home to do a chore, right? And so, what expectations are we setting up for them so that we're all on the same page? We all agree to the expectations, and then we get started with that. We have been kind of flirting with the idea of an allowance or of jobs that they can make money at. And so, really getting clear before June 1st, which is this week, by the way, so that everyone in the house is extremely clear and confident on what the new systems are going to be for June, July, and August. Also, really new this year, our school system has decided not to go back to school until after Labor Day. So my kids get 3 full months off, which is exciting. But also for me as a parent, I need to stay consistent. I need to model those expectations for them. I need to problem solve when we run into a week where we only read one time, right? And I need to be willing to say, this was not the expectation. We have not been following through on that. And we reset. What I love about the beginning of summer is it literally is like a reset button for parents to say, hey, we've been doing this really well. We need to get better at this. I've been doing a lot of my kids' laundry. I just love laundry day. I know that sounds weird, but I love Thursdays are laundry day for me. And I get so many loads done, but I do not love just like throwing clothes into a basket. So as I pull clothes out of the dryer, I usually fold them all and then they go into the kids' bedrooms and they put them away. They're home now. They are home now in the summer. So what does laundry look like in the summer? It's probably still happening on Thursday, but I am not folding the laundry as it comes out of the dryer. This will probably be a task that the two of them accomplish together. Or maybe we start doing separate loads. I don't know if we have enough laundry for that, but we will see. But what are the new systems being put in place for the kids to help this household run successfully and help them? What do you want for the summer? And now what can I do to help you create that, right? So investigate as a family, what do we want? Excellent. Now, what are we scheduling? What are some systems we need to put into place to make sure that we get that? Maybe it's just going outside every day. So you're just telling yourself, hey, every day at 10 a.m., we're leaving the house. Whatever it is, but put that system in place so that you don't get in a rut. Because when we have systems, we can feel confident in what to do. When we feel confident in what to do, we're more likely to take action. When we take action, we build momentum and you feel that movement. And that's what makes people feel good. It feels like you're moving towards something instead of staying stuck and in a rut and not really enjoying your time. And remember, it is a choice. You can say to yourself, oh, summer is going to be so hard. I'm going to have the kids home and I've got to do my business or whatever that is. Or you can say, summer is going to be incredible. And here's why. What are you going to do to make that happen? You are the captain of your culture. You are the captain of your summer. You know what? I might actually title this podcast that. You are the captain of your summer. You are also the captain of your home, and you get to set those expectations with your kids. And yes, you have to follow through on them and know they might not like that at first, but kids really do love systems as well. It helps them be confident. It helps them take action. It helps them create momentum for themselves at the same time. And so my advice for you, get super clear on what are the expectations for summer. How are you going to keep track of that? Is that a, tracking log on the wall? Is it something you're going to do on your calendar? What is it so that you can stay focused on those new systems, and so can your kids, and you can have a summer full of movement, full of peace, full of joy, full of adventure, whatever it is that summer looks like for you. I am so pumped for the summer of 2024, and I hope you are too after this episode. Let's go. All right. I would love to hear what your word was that you are going to describe the next 3 months of summer. Is it hustle? Is it joy? Is it relaxation? Is it goals? What is this summer going to be like for you? Shoot me an email at impact@annvote.com, or you can send me a message over on Instagram at AnnVote, or over on Facebook, Impact to Influence. Either way, I want to hear your word. I want to know what you're setting up. I want to have a conversation with you about what you're going to be doing this summer, the summer of 2024, to make this the summer of blank. I thank you so much for being here. I know this is a little bit different than our normally scheduled programming, talking all about leadership and culture, but this is truly you leading yourself and creating the summer that you want through your intentional actions. Just like we create the culture we want, we can also create the summer we want. Thanks for being here, and thank you for going out there and continuing to create change. I appreciate you.